welcome to Seconds Out. Joining me, Ali Drew, in the studio is newly turned professional Solomon Dakers and trainer Don Charles. Guys, we are doing a live watch along tonight for the Daniel Dubois Joe Joyce fight, but before we do, we just have another fight to talk about, which is happening in the early hours of tomorrow morning in LA. It is the return of Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. They have a combined age of 105. They are returning to the ring. It's an exhibition fight. So originally there was going to be no knockouts allowed, no winner. But now they have decided there is going to be a winner. There's going to be judges. Knockouts are allowed. There's no head guards, 12-ounce gloves. So what do you think of Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. returning to the ring?
For myself, it's one of those, some people, you want to let the old legends just leave it alone. But fair play, they might still have that fire to, have a fight. So it's one of those, you got to see what happens, really. I'm interested to see what happens at the end of the day. Yeah.
Don, what do you think?
Yeah, again, just echoing on what Solomon had just said. These guys, there's nothing for them to prove to boxing fans, and I'm a fan. Quite sad in a way for whatever reasons they wanted to have this bout. Okay, it's an exhibition fight. It's been billed as in the days, the era of Muhammad Ali's era, they had such things, but it was purely exhibition. They had their head guards on, they had their groin guards on. They have such exhibition bouts, which I think actually should be brought back for active boxers to have. But like I said, a bit mixed emotions, mainly because of their ages, right? You worked it out. Yeah. I didn't actually work it out. That amounts. What are you, Carol Vorderman?
Yeah, Mike Tyson's 54.
Yeah, so
Roy Jones is 51.
That's alarming. That the fact is, I'm in my 50s, and the thought of them going to, let's face it, however you dress it up, they're still going to. Now they've allowed that knockouts can take place. It's not safe. It's not safe. It's not recommended, should I say, for men at that age to engage in such competitions.
Yeah, because it's going to be 8 2-minute rounds. Whether it goes the distance, we don't know. Mike Tyson's saying that he's just going to go straight.
Absolutely, I heard that.
From the bell.
You wouldn't expect anything else from Mike.
If there's any cuts, they're going to stop the fight. So as soon as there's a cut, but yeah, knockouts apparently are allowed. Do you think that? I mean, it can't be. It's not money driven, I presume. I mean, Mike Tyson's getting, I think, $10 million. Roy Jones Jr. is getting less than half of that, so he's not getting a lot. I mean, it's still a lot, but not compared to Mike Tyson.
Sure.
Do you think it's money driven? Do you think it's ego driven? What do you think the reason for this is?
I think maybe a bit. I don't think it's money driven because I think they're both well off now. I know Tyson's lost a lot of money, but I think he's got a lot of money back now. He's doing the cannabis farming and that, so he's got money. I think it's a bit of ego, and with them both being from the same era, it's one of those, let me just put my stamp on that era again, one last time sort of thing. So it maybe could be down to the ego, I think.
What were you done?
Again, I will have to echo that. A bit of both. Again, when you both fighters, legends, I think it's more money driven than anything, because when you have a certain lifestyle, they're used to a certain lifestyle, and $10 million in the bank account next day, it's a nice sum of money to appear in your bank account. So I think it's more money than anything, which is quite sad.
You think there'd be? Yeah, I mean, Mike Tyson's got a lot of avenues of making money. He's done films and all sorts, so it is crazy. But I think it has, whether it started the trend, I'm not sure, but there's quite a lot of other fighters saying they want to come out of retirement as well.
Exactly.
Like Oscar De La Hoya is saying he wants to come out and take on Triple G. There's quite a few. So do you think it's going to start a sort of worrying trend?
It could do. I think if there's a good reaction from it, a lot of people are going to tune in, and everyone's going to want a slice of that pie. Like, okay, Tyson's got 10 mil. I'll have a fight. Even on retired like De La Hoya, it's millions in the bank, and it's not going to be too. They're not coming back to fight active fighters. They might be fighting, another legend who's same age, but you don't know. I hope they don't come back. Like you said, De La Hoya might come back and fight Golovkin. It's silly, and hope whoever the powers are just don't let that happen, because it's one of the most destructive punches of the modern era. and De La Hoya's an older lightweight welterweight. You know, you don't want to see that happen. So we'll have to wait and see. I think. I hope not really. To be honest, there might be some sense somewhere down the line that it don't happen.
Yeah, because I think the general consensus of people is that they don't want to see it. Like, they don't think it's safe. They don't like the idea of it. It's also legends that could potentially then ruin their sort of reputation. You know, everyone thinks of Mike Tyson as this great guy, you know, great fighter. But do you think that it could then sort of ruin their legacy a little bit if they say, obviously, I think one of them probably will get knocked out. I don't think it's probably going to go the distance. So do you think that could ruin their sort of legacy?
When I say ruin, not to a certain extent. To a certain extent, should I say, yes. But really and truly, I don't think anything Tyson or Roy Jones does now, in my eyes as a fan, would change how high I hold them, what they've already achieved, their legacy. Obviously, if they're carrying offending by doing such things, then perhaps, but as a one-off, I hope this is a one-off. I hope, like we said earlier on, it doesn't trigger off other ex-legends to come back to make a few quid. And no, I hope it doesn't trigger that. That's my only concern, that this could, if it's proved to be popular, apparently it's doing good numbers in terms of pre-buys, you know. So, which is quite alarming. That it just shows you that people are thirsty for blood.
Because everyone I speak to don't like the idea of it, but they're all going to watch. Everyone says, no, I will watch it though. They can't not tune in. But then that is the worrying thing, is will it set, if whoever wins, will they think, actually, I can keep going, I can do more, more legends come and face me.
That's the only thing this could trigger off, you know, and I hope not, because it is a young man's sport, however you look at it, however you dress it up. And we are living in the modern times where people are taking more care of themselves, nutritionist-wise, health-wise. But either way, age, you can't hide behind it when it comes to something as physical as this. You're not playing football here. The objective is to maim. So for that reason, I still say it's a young man's sport.
Yeah.
Well, even though we might not like the idea of it, what are your predictions on the fights? Like, how do you think it's going to go?
I think I can see Tyson stopping him. I can't see Tyson. His style, he can only fight one way, and he won't be able to help himself. You know, when someone's in front of him, he's gonna give it his all. He's gonna try and go for the kill. And I think Roy Jones, back in his day, obviously he's one of the best ever. But I just don't think now at their age, I think Tyson's just gonna catch him on the whiskers. Might only catch him once or twice, and the fight will probably be over, because at that age you can't take the punches. You can't take the punches anymore. I think Tyson's gonna stop him, I think.
You don't see yourself still going at the age of 55?
Oh man, I'm just still going at 27, so 50, no chance.
Tom, what's your prediction?
Yeah, this again, if there's going to be, I personally don't see any stoppages here. There will be some kind of agreement, in my opinion. I suspect there will be some agreement. It'll be like watching a tough spar. Okay, that's my opinion. I may be totally wrong. I hope that
inside knowledge.
No, I haven't. Seriously, it's my own conclusion I've drawn to it. I don't believe there will be any knockouts, and I hope there isn't any knockouts, because at 50, I'm in my late 50s, and I know when I'm doing pad work and one of my boxers accidentally missed the pad and hit me, I know the effect. It takes me the next day, I'm still feeling the effects of it. So your punch resistance goes. Roy Jones, in the recent times, has been knocked out quite a few times consecutively. Yeah. Okay, so he's not a natural heavyweight. There's a lot of factors here. Mike only knows one way. You're Mike Tyson. He will go out there, like he's already said, I'm just going to go at him, right? Okay, it could be fight talk to get people to buy the fight. It could be, but I believe him. All right. Yeah. So I'm hoping that there isn't any knockouts, but obviously, if anyone would knock anybody out, it will be Iron Mike inflicting them pain.
Yeah, I do. I would like to think there's no knockouts, but I do think that Mike Tyson may not, because he does. Even if there's people have said maybe don't knock out, you don't. He
Instincts,
doesn't really listen.
instincts,
does he? He's not-
instinct. Fighter's
he doesn't
instincts.
stick
You
to the
don't lose
rules
that.
as
Yeah,
such.
a fighter's instincts. You know, you, Darkus, you're a current young man. You know, even in sparring, the coach will say to you, guys, technical sparring. Da, da, da. Next minute, the other opposition hits you harder. You're gonna retaliate.
You take one, you want to give it back.
Yeah, naturally.
Exactly.
It's a natural instinct. It's not.
Yeah.
It might not plan. Roy might clip him with a lovely left hook. Mike goes, really? Here's my right hand, over right hand, bam. You know, so I think it's going to be one of those things. Even in sparring, like I said, when the coaches have instructed the boxers, do it technical sparring, and it always ends up into the best spar. They want to kill each other because it takes one shot to trigger it off.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But guys, make sure you stay tuned. We are doing a live watch along for the Daniel Dubois Joe Joyce fight, which is finally happening tonight. So make sure you stay tuned, and we'll see you for that.